experience was like, the only word that comes to mind is unbelievable. The idea of Bellarmine filled my head when my older brother first attended. While waiting for him after school while he did robotics or speech and debate, I would often hang out with Mr. Wolf. And in Mr. Wolf's classroom, I saw how Bellarmine students acted towards each other, and now as a senior at Bellarmine, I understand that that interaction is what we like to call brotherhood. Unlike my brother, when I started my freshman year, I was all on my own. I was the only student from my 8th grade class to come to Bellarmine, and I felt that my situation could be related to that of Ender from Ender's Game, written by Orson Scott Card. In the beginning, Ender is drafted into battle school where he's taken away from his family against his wishes and forced to learn military strategies with people he has never met before. Like Ender, I did not have the same enthusiasm as my peers did about making the jump to high school. Additionally, I was also scared about having to meet this new people every day and also spend every day with them. But however, what stuck out from Ender's Game the most was, if you try and lose, then it's not your fault. But if you don't try and then you lose, then it's all your fault. I took Ender's words of wisdom to heart and thought to myself that I would at least attempt to talk to a few students and eventually make a few friends. Luckily enough, I realized that almost everyone was in my same shoes. Like me, they struggled to make friends with people they'd never met before. Looking back on the transformation from an unsocial freshman to now a senior with a multitude of friends, I can say that Bellarmine is truly unbelievable. Through Bellarmine's brotherhood and supporting faculty, I've become the person I am today. Upon entering Bellarmine, I've always heard about that Bellarmine brotherhood. As an outsider of Bellarmine, or as a person who has not been a part of the brotherhood, it's difficult to comprehend what it is exactly. On the outside, it's just a bunch of Bellarmine guys hanging out with one another all the time. However, it's more than just being friends with another student. The brotherhood at Bellarmine is being able to constantly look out for one another and having each other's backs, all the while being accepting of everyone, even if they aren't from Bellarmine. The best way to explain the sense of community that is the core of the Bellarmine Brotherhood can be shown through my 10-day immersion trip to Taiwan. Through these 10 days, I met people I still had not even met at Bellarmine. While everyone was a little nervous about being away from home for the first time, we were able to get through solely off of friendships. As Sir William Ulster states, to study the phenomenon of science without books is to sail an uncharted sea, while to study books without patience is not to go to sea at all. Similarly, the students on the immersion trip, minus a few, have only learned Mandarin through textbooks. It was Miss Jam. Even though I spent 3 years learning Mandarin from a textbook, I was not nearly prepared for the immersion change in culture, time away from home, lack of phone availability, and difficulty communicating with the locals. And to make the situation even harder, I had to communicate with even elementary kids and other high school seniors. Similar to August Wilson's character, Citizen Barlow from Gem of the Ocean, Citizen Barlow struggles to get over the guilt that has been in the center of things. I too tried to get over the difficulties I faced in Taiwan. Aunt Esther, another character from Gem of the Ocean, explains to Citizen Barlow the story of a man who allowed his desire to raise pigs control his whole life. As Aunt Esther explains, to him the pig was the center of his life. One day, another man came along and killed all his pigs. He had lost everything. He lost the center of life because it wasn't inside of him. It wasn't something that nobody could take away. I had to learn from Aunt Esther's words, and instead of having the difficulties I faced determine if I had a good time or not, I had to be part of the Bellarmine Brotherhood and not only help myself get past these difficulties, but also help everyone else on the trip. Because of the Bellarmine Brotherhood, I was able to make some of the closest friends. In addition to making friends with other students, I've become friends with even the teachers at Bellarmine. Usually teachers are seen as separate from students, but as Bellarmine, the teachers actually attempt to be your friend. The 2 teachers I've become closest with have been Miss Jan and Mr. Heisman. Miss Jan has been my Mandarin 2 and Mandarin 3 teacher, even though she assigns a lot of homework, she is still one of my favorite teachers. While on the Taiwan immersion trip, I was able to talk and hang out with Miss Jan on a more friend basis than just teacher to student. I learned just how nice and real of a person she is and how much she embraces the Bellarmine Code of being a man and woman for others. She constantly watches out for her students, then works with them as much as possible so that they have an opportunity to succeed. She's been one of my favorite teachers and role models while at Bellarmine. In addition to Miss Jan, Mr. Heisman has made a significant influence on my life. Even though I've only known him during my senior year, my philosophy teacher, he challenged me to think outside the box when considering everyday beliefs. His empathy to help students, no matter the situation, truly stands out. When it comes to making a college decision, I knew that he would be able to help me in choosing the best college for me. His ability to live in truth and determination to help his students truly makes him a man for others. As I graduate and begin college, I know that instead of being upset about leaving the Bellarmine community behind, I should try to bring the Bellarmine ideology with me to college. Bellarmine has provided me with these skills to allow success in any profession I choose. My experience at Bellarmine is unlike any other, and I know that I always remember the people and times I have had. Bellarmine has taught me not to be afraid of making mistakes, but instead to learn from them. Sometimes the thing that scares the most ends up offering the best reward. I think every Bellarmine graduate will be successful just as long as they continue to be men for others. Thank you.